Broadcasting from the Teddy Belanger studio in Rome, New York, this is episode 73 of the Avetts and Beyond. My name is Todd Emanuele, joined by my super producer, I could say, Ryan Boyles, for this episode. And we have a special guest. Hi, Ryan, by the way.
Hello, hello.
Hey, Ron.
And
Hey.
we're joined by a very special guest making his third appearance on the show. Mr. David Childers is here. David, thank you so much for coming on with us.
So glad to be here. Thank you for asking me to come back.
Oh, of course. I've been waiting. It's been a very long time since we've had you on. We had you on two times kind of early on in the show and haven't had you back in a while. So what's been going on in your life? Tell us what you've been up to.
Just, getting out of bed in the morning, get something to eat, get some coffee, try to paint some pictures, book some gigs, go out on later in the week and go play various watering holes around western central North Carolina.
You've been kind of going all over the place lately, though, more than you normally do, right?
Went up to Detroit and Pittsburgh last weekend. Did a couple house concerts. Mary Frederick Hawking and Tim Wolfson. Mary Frederick Hawking and Jeff Hawking, and they got 4 wonderful daughters and 2 really cool dogs. They live outside of Detroit, Novi. And we went up there. Linda and our dog Francis and I drove up there and had a great show, and then drove over to Pittsburgh. And Tim Wilson's a great guy over there. He does about 24, 25 house concerts a year.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, that's insane to me. And then we drove home, and we had a wonderful trip. Now I'm getting ready to go up to Maryville, Tennessee on Friday and do a show with Scott Miller, and then come back down here, run a songwriter open mic, and go play a party here, and a brewery there, and a festival here. It just never ends, thank God.
Keeping you busy, yeah.
How long was that drive? I feel like you are
You
busier.
asked me, so I went into all that. So it gets kind of boring, I think, after a while to talk about.
I feel like you are busier than you've ever been. Does it feel that way or no?
I don't feel pressured.
Okay.
I mean, I'm busy. I want to stay busy. I have to make money. That's just the way it is. And
I get that part. Yeah.
Not to get out and play, and but I like it. I mean, I love what I'm doing, and I've certainly earned a living in less enjoyable ways, and it's a hell of a lot better than practicing law, which I did for 35 years.
You don't miss that at all?
Huh?
You don't miss that at all?
Not one bit. Not one. But it helps when I watch, like, Lieutenant Joe Ken, the homicide hunter, and stuff like that. I have a little different insight.
How long of a drive was that up to Detroit for you?
God, I think it may be about 14, maybe not, 12, 14 hours.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
We drove to Chillicothe, Ohio the first day and stayed in a nice hotel, and then headed on up to Detroit the next day. And we actually had a day to rest up, which is important to me because I get pretty worn down by driving.
That's a long way for anyone to drive, yeah.
Yeah, but we broke it up. It all worked out. I'm feeling pretty good this week.
You said you like to make money. Now, going up to Detroit on that 14-hour drive, do you charge extra to do a show up there?
Well, I didn't have to because the people I dealt with are very fair.
Nice.
They already understood, the nature of it, and it wasn't hard at all to make an agreement. So, because like I say, these are cool people that value music, and they understand what artists and musicians have to go through to get there, do the show, and then get back home. I wouldn't go otherwise, So I did that when I was young. I'd go, drive to Troy, New York, take a chance. That was actually a good place. But you know, I never had too many horrible uh, situations develop. But you know, I lost a lot of time running up and down that old road.
So if you've gone up to Detroit, you got to come to New York next time that you come up north.
Well, if somebody sets it up where it makes sense, I'll do that.
Would love to have you up here.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about it.
So tell me about the show that you have coming up. I see you posted about it. This Sunday supper show. Is
That
that this
is a
coming Sunday?
regular. That's a weekly open mic. It's in a town called Cramerton, which is about, I don't know, 8 miles away. And there's a very cool venue there called Confluence South Fork. It's right near the river, the South Fork River. And I take the band in there, probably every 3 months or so. But every Sunday they have a songwriter open mic, and there's four hosts. We alternate, doing it those four days. Like I do it once a month, and the other guys do it once a month. And it's a lot of fun. People come out and well, the idea is that people come out, and, play their songs. And so, what is that? That looks like Dale Shoemaker.
Well, I was trying
Yeah,
to
it's
show
that.
everybody what you're talking about. So part of my job is I want to show off you all in action while we're talking.
It won't look like that.
It won't look that cool,
No,
or
that's it.
is that? What are you trying to say? That you have less hair now? What are you trying to say?
I've actually got more hair now.
Okay.
Quit cutting it because I was going bald. And I'm like, well, hell, just
I
hold it
I really enjoy every time I see, no matter what your setup is, no matter how many people you have on stage, like you have so many different configurations. That's probably not the right word. That's my
Yeah, it
engineering
is.
mind.
That's
But like you have times when it's you and another guy named David, who's your wonderful
David
guitar
Niblock.
player. You have times when it's you and your bass player and your son who plays drums. So many different ways that you go about it. I know sometimes that's based on, I guess, what the setup is for the size of the venue, but sometimes maybe it's what they ask for. How
Well,
do you?
sometimes they ask for it, and
Yeah,
based on what kind of budget we have. If
true.
we get paid well enough, I'll take 6-piece band in there, or even 7-piece, like
Hmm.
we had at the press on benefit the last few years.
Yeah, that was wonderful.
Yeah, I'll take them all in there because it's a celebration, and but it just depends. Like some of these breweries are very small and or restaurants, and like a duo or a trio just works out better.
Yeah.
It's easier. I like to simplify things. I don't like to get real complicated with uh, tech technology we use. We have a PA that's pretty simple. I prefer, to have a house PA, and more that's happening. A festival or a house PA, but I got to have my own for these lower paying gigs.
Now, in any of the small venues, do you just play acoustic, like no sound system at all?
Yeah, sometimes we do that. I did that. I did that at one of the house concerts this weekend. Um, Trying to think. I don't have many places like that now. Like I say, you go somebody's house, that tends to work out better.
Yeah.
But I don't. I love doing that.
Yeah, the
Just because
intimacy
I'm
of it
lazy as
is
hell.
great.
I don't have to tear down a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, well, right. Just got to put your guitar in your case and hit the road.
Yeah, that's right.
David, my father who saw you play in Hendersonville when you did that takeover. That's all over a year ago now. He still talks about how great that was to see those acoustic sets. So it
Yeah,
really
I
is.
think I did.
Those are really fun.
I did 2 acoustic sets on Friday and Sunday, and then Saturday the whole band came and played. Yeah, that was really fun. I was hoping we'd do that again. Maybe we will in the future.
Well, you told a story. You told a story during that one of those performances about the background of the Belmont Ford, and you had somebody come up and sing it with you from the area, I believe, right? But did I see that you all played the Belmont? You played in Belmont recently?
Yeah, Belmont's close to where I live. Now I live in Mount Holly, and Belmont's probably 5 miles from here. If you drive across 85, 85 is like a river between us. And, they're both cotton mill towns. They're not now, they're suburbs, basically. But, and then that's where Daniel Stowe Botanical Garden is, which is a really amazing facility. They got this outside of Belmont, kind of between Belmont and Gastonia, which is a real place. And it's just a very developed and interesting place. We played there 2 weeks ago. Cody Gentry and his cousin Lauren opened for us.
I was just going to ask you about that.
And then it was hot as hell that day. I mean, it was had a really good sweat that day, but it cooled off as the sun went down and a half moon came out, and the place was all lit up. They had all the trees lit up with lights, and it was an amazing experience.
Tell me more about that show with Cody. I was going to ask you about that because he's a multi-time guest on the show. I've had you on several times, and you guys are close. So
yeah, I love Cody, man.
He's so talented, and
he's a good guy. He's
yeah.
I've known a lot of talented people that are assholes, but Cody's definitely not one of those. And I enjoy working with. We did a show together down in Dunn, North Carolina, a few weeks ago, and that was great. And then we did this one 2 weekends ago. To Cody, you just tell him what you want. I said go play 45 minutes. He hit it right on the nose.
That's awesome.
And
his
very professional. He and Lauren both. So they've been going out playing a lot. They're going up to Nashville, recording with Dean Miller.
Yep.
And I think I told him, I said, don't forget us, and let us open for you down the road here. I've seen this movie before. These talented young folks come along and get to be friends with them, and good for them. They move up to a higher level.
Yeah.
So,
and his album's been doing pretty good. From what I've seen on like Spotify.
Who, Cody?
Yeah, Cody's
he's
getting a lot of listens.
Well, he's got really good songs. I mean, he's good.
He does. Yeah.
I think he got mad at me over there in Belmont because I was totally knocked out by his cousin Lauren. Lauren Link.
She's really good.
Back up, and she sings a couple songs on, but she has just an incredible voice. But after they got through, I was so moved by it. I told the audience, I said, "This is one of the best vocalists I've ever heard in my life." Next thing I know, Cody's standing there going, "Thank you, David."
And you had to play after them.
Yeah.
After you said that.
I think we worked it out. I don't know.
You should just say, best you've heard in your life so far. Try harder.
Yeah. Now, did you see Ryan's hat, David? Can you see his hat that he's wearing?
Yeah, I know. We got a couple like that around here.
Yeah.
When we were doing the press on last year in Raleigh, I started seeing those hats show up.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell is that?
Well, the Boyles are
around. I'm like, oh, he's behind it.
Yeah. I was trying to get hired as your merch person, and that was my thing. So we'll see.
Well, you can be if you want. I mean,
I'm gonna say, is that position filled?
Because lucrative.
Well, I think I'd have to. I mean, I feel like Linda's probably your merch person, but maybe she doesn't like doing it. I don't know.
She wants to dance. That's what she wants.
Yeah, that's what I see. So if she wants
That's
to
fine.
dance, I will man the table whenever you're in the area. So
Well,
sign
I
me up.
appreciate that.
We need some David Childers t-shirts and hoodies and hats. So
Well, you're not gonna get them from me.
All right.
I really hate dealing with the clothing.
Oh
Those
yeah.
people, that it's not the right size and this and that, or if they get it, then they want to bring it back. It's just, and after a show, I love talking to people, but just sitting there trying to figure out what size is now.
no, you know what you got to do? Just put a sign on the table that says no returns.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Well, I think somebody else can figure that out.
Well, Ryan,
Somebody picked up
All right.
Mike Burnett sent me a post. I don't know where it came from, but it was one of my shirts that I actually had designed or used some of my art on it, and they were selling bootlegs of it.
oh yeah,
And, I'm like, well, hell, ain't nobody gonna buy that.
that
So
stuff drives me
Whack-a-mole.
crazy. You see it all the time.
don't worry about it. It's not worth the trouble.
So I've got one of your paintings behind me here, as you can see, if I move out of the way.
I see them teeth.
Yeah, it's kind
I
of.
appreciate that, man.
I put it as my background for you. And you're still painting all the time, right? Every day, obviously.
I spent all day doing it today. And, I did the same thing yesterday and half of the day on Monday after I took the rental car back. So, and I'll probably do the same thing most of tomorrow and then drive up to play up in Tennessee.
I love your
And I
paintings.
ain't complaining. It's a great life. I'm happy.
Yeah. And I know people love your paintings. I love your paintings. I wish I had more money to be able to have more of them on my wall, but I have 4, and I'm very proud to own them.
Well, you'll be able to get them cheap down the road.
Great. So you're able to play a couple songs for us?
Oh yeah.
Did you prepare? I don't know. I didn't ask you to play anything.
Hey man, I'm always
but...
prepared.
Ryan, did you have any requests or
no? You want to hear? You got a request?
Oh man, that's a hard choice.
Whatever you want to play is fine with me.
Well, I'll play this one first. You think of something that we know. The song called "Another Dawn." And we actually, I think, took a shot at recording it for "Run Skeleton Run," but it didn't make the cut. Maybe next time. All the wind has lost its color. There's no sleep in the lovers. Distance has departed. The long and brutal miles. Shadows turn to ashes. Covers lose their echo. And up the street I see my old life running away. Well, a cool wind blew through the sun-washed morning. I was just turned 17. Saw the carnival rising like a beast beside the old mill stream. A bright-eyed kid gone blind, I saw the world with brand new eyes. I stopped and stared instead of whining, never was the same. I took a beating in the alley. I took a pound, and yes I did. Well, I love the ones who did it, and I still call them my friends. I love the winter, summer, spring, and fall. Oh, hell, yes, I love it all. And I'm so glad to be here to see another dawn. I've been up all night in the bowling alley, couldn't sleep a wink. Oh, yeah. Now I'm safe at home in my haunted mansion. Reach the light of day. Morning dove and pterodactyl flash across the sky. Dracula and Gustav Mahler sing my lullaby. Yeah, I'm up all night in the bowling alley, couldn't sleep a wink. Oh yeah, I'm safe at home in my haunted mansion. Greet the light of day. Morning dove and pterodactyl flash across the sky. Dracula and Gustav Mahler sing my lullaby. Oh, the wind has lost its color. There's no sleep in the lovers. Distance has departed. Long and brutal miles. Shadows turn to ashes. Clovers lose their echo. And up the street I see my old life running away.
That's beautiful. Oh, love it. Love it.
Thank you.
So that song's not on an album?
No, it's not.
That should be on an album.
Well, hopefully I'll get to make another album one day. And I'll take that.
Tell us the name of it again.
Another Dawn.
Another Dawn.
Beautiful. Love that song.
That is amazing. All right. Well, one of the lyrics that you just sang in that song, you mentioned Dracula. So if you'll indulge us, one of the songs that I always forget about asking you about is Vampire Blues. I don't know if you like to do that solo, but what do you think?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that all the time. Sure, I'll do it right. You want to hear it now?
Sure.
Go for it, yeah.
Bad dreams and sorrow fill up the dawn. Deep early morning, you talk in your sleep. Dogs are howling and an agitated moon. Times like this don't end too soon. Blood on the wind, hold me close now, baby. I got the vampire blues. Woo! That's right. I got a message from the children of the night, wanting me to meet them at the double door in the night. Ain't got the courage, ain't got the will. Come tomorrow morning, I hope I'm breathing still. Blood on the wind, hold me close down, baby. I got the vampire blues. Woo! Yeah. You look at me, I turn away. I really don't know what I should say. You make me tremble, you make me scared. I'm gonna have to find a way to get the hell out of here. Blood on the wind, hold me close now, baby. I got the vampire blues. Yeah. Oh. She's a pretty little woman, don't mean me no good. Put something evil into my blood. It's drastic measures I gotta take. Go to the forest, I'll cut a wooden stake. Blood on the wind, hold me close now, baby. I got the vampire blues. Yeah. Ooh, yeah. Well, on the wind, hold me close now, honey, please. You know I got the vampire. Woo. Yeah. Woo. The children of the night. Such as music as they made. Woo.
Love it. Love it. Awesome job.
Thank you.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
I know,
Yeah.
I'm ready for it. This is
So,
getting
Ryan,
me in the mood.
Halloween.
Ryan,
all
why
year.
have what about that song that you always wanted to ask him about?
What's that?
Why is that song? You said I've always wanted to ask you about this song or have you play it or
Well, David is very generous with taking requests. Like most times we see him, and so. But I'm always stumped because I like your whole catalog, and for some reason I always forget about this song until I hear it. But I
But I
finally,
forget about it too.
I finally remembered it this time because I don't know why. It's got such a unique name. It's got a cool vibe. I don't know.
love
But
it.
thank you.
You know, there was a band. I think they were from South Carolina. They didn't make a record, but they did a video of that, which was pretty cool to see. You know, these guys did a great version with it. But I wish I could remember their name. You know, I'm getting that old timers disease. I don't remember stuff.
You just remember what matters. That's what it is.
So you're a big fan of like monster movies and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, I love horror. I like the old horror stuff. I don't like all this
Oh yeah. No, I get you.
Blair Witch Project. They just
Oh right, yeah.
off the rails. But you know, I saw this one with Nicole Kidman not long ago. It was an older movie, but where she was already dead and she'd gone back to her home. The Others, I think, is the name of it.
Mm.
But I'm not saying there aren't good horror movies made.
I'm a big horror fan too.
And I think Bram Stoker's Dracula by Coppola is the best version of that.
Yep.
But I do love old Frankenstein. You know, Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, Mummy, Dracula, of course.
And I know all that stuff kind of leaks into your paintings too.
Yeah, it does. You know, I don't. Sean Buffington sort of encouraged me to paint a lot of stuff like that, but I've just kind of realized that imagery and you know the folklore and the magic and all that surrounds is very attractive to me. But you know, who knows? Like you know, a lot of us were attracted to, and still are to horror movies. My granddaughter Margot's 7, and last fall we came home. She had actually gone on to a gig with Linda and me up in the mountains, and we got home and Linda went to bed. And Margot and I sat up and watched the first Godzilla. It was in Japanese. And she was totally immersed in it, and she's obsessed with him now. Like every time she comes over here, we'll put Godzilla on.
That's amazing. Well, you know, Godzilla won its first Oscar this past year. It's taken it like 70 years for a Godzilla film to get an Oscar, and that new one that came out last year, I think it was Godzilla. What is it? -0.
That's right.
It won an Oscar for best effects.
Wow.
Because they made it. My understanding is they made the effects on really a shoestring budget and a lot of no CGI and a lot of practical stuff. So it's very much like the old school original films, but it looks amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, they did those original ones. That was amazing. That was all done with miniatures and in tanks, you know, in the studio. Plus, you know, Godzilla's a man wearing a rubber suit. And I think he may have still been playing Godzilla up until recently.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a song in there somewhere.
There you go.
Well, you know, the first CD record I put out, first album, nobody much knows about it. And I don't even know if I have any copies left. It was called Godzilla, He Done Broke Out.
Right.
David Childers and the Mount Holly Hellcats. And
Who told me about that?
Was those records.
Jack Pointer told me about that one.
Yeah, he might have a copy of it.
He does have a copy of it, and that's one of his favorite songs off of there.
Yeah, we did that live at this club about 1 in the morning. There were maybe 4 people in there listening. But we caught it on a tape. I'm like, shit, I started making this record. I was doing it all myself, and I added that on there. And I was trying to get my name around as a folk singer or singer-songwriter. And I put this record out called Godzilla. He done broke out. And it's just horrified the folk. He's like, why did you name your record that? I don't know. Yeah.
Hey, it got your attention, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Well, so David, that reminds me, I think you sent, I remember seeing this YouTube video about, I don't know when it was, sometime last year, that you had sent to some people that was you in a Godzilla movie in a YouTube video.
Yeah.
That was something about, it was like a little mini movie. And
Godzilla versus the Spice Girls.
There you go. It was
And,
Godzilla versus the Spice Girls. And
a guy named Wendell Oliver,
it is one of the most entertaining things. Tell us about that.
It's funny as hell, isn't it? That was fun. Wendell Oliver lives in Belmont. He actually lives right above where the train went down. He doesn't now. He grew up there. He lives, I think, over here in Mount Holly. But he was making videos and stuff back in the 90s, and he recruited my friend Shan and my cousins Sherry and Scott, and we went down on the Catawba River one hot day, and I had a blast filming that. I remember we all went, Sherry and Scott and Linda and I all went swimming in the Catawba River.
Yeah.
Later that day, we're lucky to be alive. I mean, that's more dangerous than Godzilla, probably.
All of the best old stories are qualified with "we're lucky to be here." Well, I'm going to show a real quick. I'm not going to play any of it, but I just want to show. This is the keyframe from the film.
Oh wow! That's where we catch Godzilla.
Yeah, but we will somehow share this link out with people because it is one of the most. I've watched it with my wife now, like probably 5 times on my TV.
I know what I'm doing after we hang up.
Yeah, my approval. I'm sure Wendell would love it as well.
Yeah, we'll share that link. Definitely. I'll put that on the page.
Yeah. So for me, so there's a new horror movie in the movie theaters this week. There's an Alien movie out and it's #1 at the movie box office right now. The original movie came out in 1979. Is that the kind? Are you into that kind of horror? That kind of
like Aliens. I like Aliens.
Okay.
Aliens.
Yep.
After
that, they fall off, don't they?
Yeah, they do tend to do that.
Yep. But, well, I have seen the new one. I will recommend it if neither of you have seen it, but it is a very much a return to very much like Alien. It's entertaining.
It's scary as hell too.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is.
I don't go to theaters, but maybe it'll come around. I watch Turner Classic Movies, and I guess I'm just lazy. I don't.
Hey, you and the rest of America. That's why movie theaters aren't working.
It'll take a while for that new Alien movie to get to Turner Classic Movies. Though.
Yeah, probably I'll be dead and cremated, blown away on the wind by then.
Do you have streaming services at all?
No.
No. Because a lot of movies now go straight to streaming, so you don't even have to go to the theaters. But anyway,
I think David is doing it right because you wouldn't have time for all this art and music if you were busy watching Netflix.
True. Well, in truth, my routine is, especially in weather like this, I go out, I paint outside, and I might do an hour. It's usually a little less than that. Then I come inside, cool off, sit back, get a little hydration, and I watch movies.
Mm-hmm.
Unless there's like a fraud trial or something going on, which is going to be very interesting. But so I spend. I mean, I've watched several really good movies in the last few days, just bit by bit. Or Canadian football. I record that. That comes first. I can fast forward through the commercials. They don't have many anyway. Anyway, I need to read more. I used to read a lot, and I'm trying to get back to books.
I got a question for you about your tour. So you're a great songwriter. I wonder, with so much time on the road, like where do you, like, you do your art outside at your house? Where do you find the inspiration for songwriting? Is there any particular time or place that it works the best for you?
No, I don't have any. I used to when I was younger. I had a disciplined routine, but I don't have that anymore. Um, writing songs, I've put a lot of energy and time into it, and it just really hadn't given that much return on it. But I keep writing because I love going out, and playing for people. I actually find myself learning more songs by other people. I turned 73 last week, and there's really just not that much room left for me to run in. If I hadn't been, getting songs picked up and recorded by other people by now, it ain't gonna happen. So, I tend to focus more on the art now. But I keep notebooks around. I've got several here, and if something hits me, as it does, I'll write it down. And I've written some new songs this year, but I just have to put them through a real harsh regimen before I'm ready to take them out. And if I'm playing them here, I'll even take them and play them at shows sometime. But if it's not hitting me in the heart and the head at the same time, I generally gonna probably just leave it to sit.
Are you always writing lyrics? So as something pops into your head, do you jot it down in like a notebook or something?
I try to, but I can't always do that.
Yeah.
But I do try. I keep one by my bed. I seem to come up with stuff, late at night. When I'm driving, I don't drive all that far, really. Going to Detroit and Pittsburgh, that's kind of unusual. But I guess I generally do it in the morning or maybe in the middle of the night after I've woke up or something
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah. I find that a lot of creativity comes at not like in these in between times, in the, like you said, late night or in the shower, in the car. It's not like where, it's not like sitting at a table trying to be creative.
Yeah, not with a pen and paper in front of you.
Sitting
Right.
there like
You're off doing something else.
something's gotta happen.
Inspiration,
it works better
inspiration strikes.
when it's spontaneous.
Yeah.
Right.
I probably told Jess, but run skeleton run several years ago. I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 by now. But I had actually painted that picture that's on the record, and it's a right big piece, I guess 5 feet tall. And I painted this skeleton, and I wrote "Run, Skeleton, Run," and it dawned on me that's a song right there. You need to go. And I came down here, picked up a guitar, and wrote the song like in 10 minutes, maybe.
Wow.
And but then there's others that just take. For I mean, like Prettiest Thing, it took me years for that poem or that song to emerge as it was.
And the Avett brothers keep playing it.
Yeah, thank God they do.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah, it is cool, and that's one of the most rewarding things I've experienced as an artist is to have those guys keep playing that song. They've done a couple of other ones, but none of them has stuck like Prettiest Thing. And we weren't even playing that song when we'd put it on Room 23, I think. And 10 years went by, and we hardly ever even played that song. And then my daughter told me she'd seen the Avetts doing it on YouTube or something. So I took a look at it and I said, well, I should start playing it too. And I'm glad they did it, and that's been a happy part of this
I love when they play it.
strange career.
So it took you. You're saying it took you years to write it, and then you didn't want to play it, and then so.
Yeah, I mean, it
Wow.
started happening like 1976, New Year's Day.
Right.
I mean, Linda and I went in this play. The rest of it's, made up, but that part was real. Where we were sitting there in the ocean.
The opening verse, yeah.
You weren't drinking PBRs? That's not true.
I probably was then. I was drinking back then.
Well, can I ask you one question here? We're out of time, so we're gonna wrap it up here. Can you play it for
the lawyer first?
Yeah.
No,
Can you
ahead.
play the prettiest thing to wrap it up?
What you want to ask?
Can you play the prettiest thing to wrap it up here?
Hell yeah.
I think that'll be a good way to end the episode.
I need to play it real fast.
Nah, you got all the time in the world.
It was a New Year's Day in the seaside bar. It was a special on PBR. The ocean roared outside the door. No one but us and some hardcore drinkers lost in the stormy day. How blue was the blue of your eyes against the skies of gray. Do you remember what we talked about? I just remember your face. Prettiest thing that I've ever seen. It must have been a wrong turn that I took in Cedar Falls. Maybe Kansas City, Lord, I don't know. We just kept on rolling. It was too late to turn around. We talked about, I just remember your face. Prettiest thing that I've ever seen. And you left me in that depot in Gastonia with your mother. What you still had left, self-respect. I know that you tried to tell me that's when I was a-drinking. I could not find the words to win you back. Do you remember what we talked about? I just remember your face. Prettiest thing that I've ever seen. Yeah, you changed your mind about me, and I should understand. Years of miles were not what you deserve. Heard that you got married, and he is a decent man. Although some say he's a little bit too reserved. Do you remember what we talked about? I just remember your face. Prettiest thing that I've ever seen. Do you remember what we talked about? I just remember your face. Prettiest thing that I've ever seen. I didn't mess up too bad.
All right.
That was beautiful.
Thank
Thank
y'all.
you so much.
Man, this was fun. This was worth the wait. It
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it.
took 3 times, but we got it on, and I love the songs. It's always fun talking to you, David.
Well, thank you. Same here, guys.
Let me ask you one more question here before I let you go.
All right.
My guest next week is Abe Partridge.
Oh, great! No
Now,
shit. That's
he's a
great.
friend of yours, right?
Yeah.
Is there anything that I should ask him that you can
Well,
think of?
we spent about 3 or 4 days here at my house. I think it was in July, recording a record, and he and Robert were doing the main labor on it. They let me, be on some of the cuts, but I just listened to not the final version, but it's a pretty amazing record, I think, and I'm looking forward to that coming out. You might ask him about that, but Abe, he was a Pentecostal preacher. He left that, joined the Air Force, but he developed a relationship with a lot of snake handling churches, and I think the main thing that drew him there was the music, because the music in those churches is amazing. I mean, it's like punk rock music, with lyrics about Jesus and Satan and so forth. It's and he actually done, he knew some of them, and there's a couple songs I wrote on there, and then some other ones he wrote. But
Oh, nice.
I'm looking forward to that, coming out somewhere. But we had ask him about that. He came up here to the house. Linda and Margot and Francis, our dog, went down to Megan's house. Our daughter Megan has a house on Lake Tillery. They went down there and hid from us, and we took over the house. Abe brought his 2 sons up here, Wyatt and Evan, and it was just a beautiful experience.
Very cool. I will ask him about that.
I enjoyed seeing both of y'all perform when you did that double header down and done.
Yeah,
I hope y'all do that again sometime.
Yeah, he was there earlier in the year.
Yep.
Not that long ago. Yeah, we're always happy to share the bill with Abe. Do it. But he's a good man. He's been really good to me.
Well, what I liked is he's a good storyteller along with the music, and I mean, so are you. But I love that part of hearing backstories, or hearing crazy stories, or hearing inspirations, or whatever.
I love that. So looking forward to having him on.
He's really good at it. I mean, he's a lot better at that than I am. Well, he was a preacher, I think.
Yeah.
I think that helps a lot. He really knows how to connect with
You
people.
might be right.
That is funny.
I'm kind of a curmudgeon. I'm not that easy to get to.
We love you though, David, and you're.
Well, I love you guys too.
Future North Carolina Music Hall of Famer David Childers. Thank you so much.
I think the servants and I are going to play for the induction of Tommy Fail. Tommy Fail's a local player. He was great.
Oh.
He wrote Phantom 309. You ever heard Tom Waits do that? Red Sovine. But we're going to do it in October. So,
you know what would be cool? When you get inducted, the Avetts brothers play for you.
Oh, there we go.
Let's set that up.
Have to, because I'll be dead by then.
Nah, we're gonna get you in. We're gonna get you in next year somehow.
Right.
We're working on it.
Well, but I thank you for the thought. It's very kind of you. There's a lot of politics there.
Yeah, well, I'm sure there is.
Hey, I'm just grateful to have what I have. I'm a very blessed person, and I'm blessed to have friends like you guys.
I appreciate that.
Thank
you, David. Thank you so much for saying that.
Well, I mean,
that's perfect. Let's end on that note. That's a good note to end on. David, thank you so much for coming on.
Good night.
All right.
Good to each other.
Thanks so much, David.
We'll see you down the road.
Thank you.